everyone. Welcome to the Daily Buzz Fastcast on the web. I'm Andrea Jackson along with Key Malone. It's a girls' show on a Friday. All right, Girls Club, the boys are out. Mitch is on his way to Roswell, New Mexico, and Andy Campbell's been on vacation, but he should be back on Monday. Let's go ahead and get you plugged in.
Here are your headlines now from CNN and the Associated Press. He may have skipped out on jail time, but Louis Scooter Libby still has to pay up for those bad deeds. The disgraced former White House aide coughed up the $250,000 as part of his sentence in that CIA leak case. President Bush swept Libby's 30-month prison sentence under the rug earlier this week, but graciously left the fine intact. One source says Libby's friends and supporters had raised more than $5 million to cover his legal fees, but Libby ponied up his own money. Also in the news today, two young sisters in Oklahoma are in some serious trouble after their mom busted them kidnapping a baby. The 10 and 12-year-old girls are accused of snatching the 1-year-old for ransom money. I don't know if they don't get an allowance in Oklahoma. I don't know what the deal is. Cops say they broke into the neighbor's house, took the baby, and left a ransom note telling the boy's mother to leave $200,000 on the sofa for them. The girl's mother recognized the little guy and then returned him to his family. Those are your headlines. You are plugged into the news, Andrea.
All right, Kia, thank you. Legendary Kiss frontman Paul Stanley stopped by the Daily Buzz studios early and made Mitch's day. Check out the interview and his chat with Mitch earlier.
23 minutes now past the hour. He rocked and rolled and partied all night, and partied every day. Now he's taking his passion of music to the canvas and showing fans a whole new side of himself. We're joined by legendary Kiss frontman Paul Stanley, who's back with us once again.
Thanks.
Okay, in the 70s, my parents wouldn't let me listen to Kiss, right? So
you did pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the 80s is when I discovered Kiss, and I was like, and it was after the makeup came off as well. So I mean, I was an older audience, if you will,
Sure.
or next generation, if you will. Now, are you finding that in your paintings that you're finding a different audience altogether?
Well, it's really interesting because obviously, you know, you have those Kiss fans, but also what I found a lot of galleries say is that people come in and are taken with the art and first drawn to it without knowing who did it, which is which is really cool. Look, nobody's going to deny that my fame and success helps get my foot in the door, but it doesn't mean somebody can't slam the door on my foot. So, you know, ultimately the fact that people are acquiring the art and the numbers they are obviously means something, because blind adulation is in short supply nowadays. So people buy things. You know, that's the ultimate way of people giving you approval, is to part with money. So it means a lot to me.
This might be a little like choosing babies, but are you more comfortable with a guitar in your hand or a paintbrush?
Well, you see, right now I'm in the best of both worlds. I got my art next to me and I got a guitar.
You guys missed it during the commercial break. We were hearing Zeppelin, man. It was awesome, man. I was jamming with you. It was awesome. I mean, that's going to be really cool. I mean, it's got to be a great feeling when people actually appreciate both sides of your artistry.
Well, yeah, you know, the whole thing with art that makes it so cool is you connect with people in a different way than you do with music. And, you know, again, you know what you like and you don't need somebody to tell you. Critics be damned, you know. People can decide for themselves what is good art and what is bad art. For me, I believe that whether you live in a station wagon, you live in a Winnebago, you live in an estate, you deserve to have art on your wall. Okay. You know, people don't need to spend $65 million on a Van Gogh unless they want to have it as you know, an investment. You can get just as much joy out of a print. So whatever turns you on, put it on the wall.
Let's talk rock and roll. Music has really changed since the 70s, and I think the bands today have Kiss to thank as far as making money. Would you agree with that?
Well, you know, I think we're the virus that's kind of found its way into music, and it's found its way into most forms of music. You know, I don't need to tap us on the shoulder or pat us on the back.
I do.
Okay, you do it.
I mean, as far as marketing goes, I mean, Kiss changed the way bands were marketed.
Well, you know, up until the time we came along, most bands thought it was not cool to have merchandise. But the fact is that you don't put anything out that people don't want.
Yeah.
You know, people would say, oh, they're marketing geniuses. The fact is, if somebody says, we'd love a Kiss belt buckle, give it to somebody and they'll buy it.
Okay, we're going to let you play us out to break, and did pretty good from a boy from Queens. And if you want to check out his paint artistry, you can check out the Wentworth Gallery. It's on our website, a link to it at dailybuzz.tv. Paul, if you wouldn't mind playing us out.
Sure.
Paul Stanley, check out our website, dailybuzz.tv.
Yes.
Amen.
And that made Mitch's month, by the way. Yes, or year. That does it for the Daily Buzz Fastcast, everybody. On Monday, we are showing you how to go from playing video games to rolling in the dough making video games. And we are also crowning the box office king. And Mitch will have our update on his big weekend in Roswell, New Mexico as the Grand Marshal. Be good, everybody. Mwah. Stay tuned.
Have a great weekend.